We did all the things we were required to do and documented all of that appropriately. The stumbling block for us was the drip edge. My lack of expertise, I did not understand that that would be a controversy. All right, well, I'm Jeff Ralston with Ralston Eco Homes, and we're back in Swisher, Swisher, Iowa, where we're building our Phius home. And I wanted to talk a little bit about our fortified roof adventure. So if you recall, we were here maybe 2 months ago, and we were getting ready to install our roof, and I had decided I wanted to achieve fortified roof certification. And I had every intention of doing that, but as it turns out, we were unable to. And I kind of wanted to just chronicle that adventure a little bit. This home, when it is completed, will have fortified roof certification. And much like many of the other things that we've been doing out here, this requires a third party to confirm that we're doing the things that are necessary to meet that level of certification. So I have here Tim, and Tim, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do? And
So I'm Tim Stolba, and I'm with Primetime Home Inspections, and I'm certified by IBHS to do these fortified inspections. And basically it's looking at the property in a little different way, just it's a little more resilient to severe weather, heavy winds, rains. Basically, if you have a fortified roof put on your house, it's going to be hopefully dry on the inside of the home after the storm.
yeah, it's crazy. We were just talking before the cameras were turned on, and Iowa Public Radio was having a River to River, I think is the name of the program, and they were talking about homeowners insurance. And homeowners insurance in Iowa is expensive, and it's getting more and more expensive. I think the last I read, they're expecting rates to go up 20% this year. So this year alone, 20%. And that increase in cost doesn't even cover what the insurers are paying out. So our premiums aren't even covering what they're paying in Iowa. And a good part of why we're experiencing high homeowners insurance rates in Iowa is because of severe weather. I mean, all of us that live in Iowa remember the derecho that happened in August of 2020. That storm, if I understand correctly, was the most expensive thunderstorm in U.S. history. Yep. The 2020 derecho. We had winds in some places 130, 140 miles an hour. I live very close to Palo, and Palo was kind of the epicenter. And they had winds in excess of 130 miles an hour. And a lot of the claims that were made because of those winds were homeowners' claims were because of roof damage. The other thing that happens in Iowa is hailstorms are very common. We're actually in the top 10 of states for hail events. So Iowa averages about 165 hail events a year. And I think 2023 was an outlier, it was super high. And those hail events, again, impact the roof mostly, and that's expensive. So our homeowners insurance rates are increasing. And this program, Fortified Roof program, requires that I do things with the roof to make it more resilient to those storms. First, let me say Tim Stolbel with Primetime Home Inspections was great. I mean, he worked very hard to try and help us achieve what we needed to. And we did almost everything that was necessary. We took all of the photos that were required that were time-stamped and geolocated to this specific site. That's the installer's responsibility, and we did that. We used the sheathing that was the appropriate sheathing and thickness. We nailed that to 4 inches on center. We used a 2-ply underlayment. We used a shingle starter. We had We used type 4 shingles that were nailed in the appropriate way. All the fasteners were the appropriate fasteners, so we used cap nails on the underlayment. We used 8D ring shank nails for the sheathing. We did all the things we were required to do and documented all of that appropriately. The stumbling block for us was the drip edge. And this is a controversial topic for roof installers. And I have to admit, my lack of expertise, I did not understand that that would be a controversy. So the controversy is that Iowa code requires that the underlayment goes over the drip edge. And the reason they want the underlayment to go over the drip edge is so that water runs over the drip edge instead of under the drip edge. And that makes complete sense to me. When I reached out and talked to my installer, and he felt very strongly that that's what we should do. We should place the underlayment under or over the drip edge. You know, his experience has been that's the failure. Those are the calls he's getting. Those are the things he's seeing in the field that require him to come back and redo a project. Now, the problem we ran into is Fortified Roof requires that we put the drip edge over the underlayment. And I understand why they want to do that. They're trying to keep us from this underlayment. They're trying to keep it from lifting off with high winds. The problem is in Iowa, we get, I don't know, anywhere from 20 to 48 inches of rain every year, and we get 30 to 35 inches of snow. And so for us, water is a bigger issue than wind. And so after reaching out to any number of people, I decided that I was going to follow Iowa code, follow the advice of my very experienced installer, and leave the underlayment over the drip edge. So I thought real quickly I'll just chronicle how I came to that decision. The first person I talked to was obviously my installer. And I respect him. He has a lot of experience. And he stands by his product. The next person I reached out to is a PhD civil engineer who has published quite a few documents for Building Science Corporation. He actually is out of Canada and has recently written a paper about drip edges. And he recommended following Iowa code. Essentially, he's like, I can't believe this is a controversy. In areas that receive a lot of rain and snow and are not prone to hurricanes, the drip edge should go under the underlayment. I also reached out to a local blogger who does high performance building. And he also agreed that if it were his home, he would put the underlayment over the drip edge. You know, he just didn't agree with that, putting the drip edge over the underlayment. And then I also reached out to our shingle manufacturer, and they also stated that they would recommend following Iowa code, and that for them, they recommend putting the underlayment over the drip edge. Now, they did also give me two workarounds. So if I chose to put the underlayment under the drip edge, then their two recommendations were you could use a roofing cement to seal that edge, or we could use their starter shingle product and lay that over the underlayment, and that would stick down and also provide protection from water. I will say that I think the Fortified Roof program is a good program, and I think there are a lot of things to consider using in that program, but ultimately I chose to put the underlayment over the drip edge. I will also tell you I reached out to my insurance provider, American Family Insurance, and they will give a discount for using the Class 4 shingle. And they actually didn't have any, that discount doesn't change whether you're fortified certified or not. So for me, I'm achieving a very good product that's going to resist high winds, it's going to resist hail. I think it's going to provide the homeowner with a very durable product, and they'll get a 10% discount from their insurance company.